So we're live. Okay. Well, inspired by some of our friends here, we are having I think maybe the first of many. We want to maybe when I come back we'll continue. So today is maybe like a taster, I could say. We want to. It's very nice to go a little deeper into the meanings of our songs, right? And I have the privilege of having lived in Bengal for many years, and so I don't know as much Bengali as I should, but I did pick up something. And so when I sing the songs, there's so much richness that I feel just being a little familiar with the language. So we can do something of that. And I'm thinking I've done this type of class a few times, and I like to start with this song. So I need to tell you the page. It's page 49 in the books. So we're going through this, for those online, we're going through this Śaraṇāgati by Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur. Just for a little bit of background, for those who don't know, this is a wonderful songbook on the subject of surrender, Śaraṇāgati, and it was composed by Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur, one of our modern gurus. And it also has a commentary by our Guru Śrīla Sridhar Maharaj, the founder of our mission, which brings to light many of the hidden meanings of these songs. And this song is it's a very nice song to start with if you're trying to learn songs, because it's fairly simple. The construction, the length, the vocabulary, it's fairly simple compared to some of the other songs. The subject matter is also very nice and very important and relevant, because it's discussing the topic of surrender in a very concise way, right? And so this book as a whole, and surrender itself, is said to have 6 aspects. And so those 6 aspects of surrender are being summarized in this song. And it's describing, this was Lord Chaitanya's mission as well, to bring these teachings to this world. Maybe we can actually sing it first, and then we can go through it afterwards. So do you want to lead us, Prabhu? Oh, you need mridanga.
No.
Okay. And so this is also Mangala Charan, Invocation of Auspiciousness. It's the first song of this book, invoking all good things. Can you pass me those cartels, Prabhu, also while you're there? Thank you. Oh, the red one. Oh, maybe we can also... Can you check in the Kirtan guide? What page is it in the Kirtan guide? Just for those who don't have the book online, they can follow it. This song is also one of the main songs we sing in the morning, right, in our temples. And so, those of you at home...
52.
52, page 52. Okay.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedaya Kori.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedaya Kori.
Sakara Sada Shri Jagama Sahaya Avatari. Sakara Sada Shri Jagama Sahaya Avatari. Atyanta Durlabha Prema
Another thing I wanted to mention is, we what's the word for it? When you have like your own vocabulary, there's, what word I mean? Lexicon, right? Like, we aspiring Gaudiya Vaishnavas have our own lexicon, right? And that can be intimidating to people, right? And so I think also this will be a nice exercise just in kind of, breaking down the barriers, right, and within that lexicon. You'll start to see some patterns, and oh yeah, I remember that word, right, and this means that. And so like just getting more familiar with some of these words, and I think it will help as a whole in understanding our language, right? So that's also why I thought this would be a really nice exercise, so it's not also intimidating our vocabulary. So, let's see, where shall we start? Well, I'll just start from the very top. So, we're on page 49, James.
49 of the...
49 in the Śrāṇāgati book, yeah. This book is very nice because it includes word for word, right? And one day it would be nice to produce a whole songbook that is like that. Maybe
I
one
think
day
that
in
they
the
are. I
future.
think that that's in progress.
Are they doing
Work in
that in the
progress.
new one?
I think so.
Oh, okay, wow, that's
Just
exciting.
Before I forget today, is it, I've been meaning to ask somebody like yourself, is there an English dictionary, not apart from a database, where you can, because sometimes you, out of one song, you just, one complete paragraph sort of thing, you just need one word to remind you of the whole song, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
in it there's 4 different paragraphs here. You just need one.
The first word, and you remember it all.
And then you remember the whole.
Yes.
The whole what that particular section is. So is there some sort of English where it gives the English and followed by the Sanskrit? Is there something like that?
Do you understand him?
I don't know, but I think that what Vishaka has in mind today with this kind of class, it will answer your question.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is there an English dictionary, English Sanskrit dictionary apart from database?
I think this is Krishna Search.
Database is
Krishna
not
Search.
a dictionary.
Krishna Search, I think.
Yeah, I know, but it's, anyway.
Let's talk about it afterwards. We'll resolve it later. I'm sorry, not following. We'll talk about it later. Well, I'll start from the very top. So this is also very nice, this book, because it includes the original Bengali, which it was composed in, and then it also has the Roman transliteration of the Bengali, and then it also has the English translation. So it's very, very nice, helpful text. So I'll start from the very beginning. All glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. This is one of our practices when we go to, especially when we're writing letters or for some formal text like a publication. You'll see this in all of our books, because the idea is that any glory, any honor that is due, for what is being produced, we are not taking it for ourselves. We are offering it above, and in that way we will be saved from ego, right? From arrogance that will come. So this is our practice. Before beginning anything, first we're offering it above. So Guru is our teacher, Gauranga is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You understand who is Gauranga, right? And the meaning is very nice. Do you know the meaning? Yes. Wow, okay. That's right, golden. Yeah, Anga is body or form. Gaur is golden. So golden limbed. Anga also means limb. So golden limbed or golden bodied is the name. So all glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Śaraṇāgati, which means surrender. Mangala Charan, invocation of auspiciousness. This word Mangal, you may hear sometimes. Mangal means auspiciousness, goodness. It gets thrown around sometimes. Our morning worship is called Mangal Arati. Okay, so now we'll dive into the song. So beginning with Shri. So Shri is a word that you may hear thrown around a lot too. Shri is a name. There are lots of different connotations with Shri. Shri is actually in one name for the goddess of fortune, the goddess of wealth. She's perhaps more commonly known as Lakshmi Devi. And sometimes you may even hear some Hare Krishnas refer to their money as Lakshmi, which we don't do so much, but in some missions you'll hear it quite a lot. So Lakshmi Devi is the goddess of wealth, but she's also another name for her, Shri. And then the word is also used to indicate like spiritual wealth or spiritual beauty in the general sense. And then it's also used as a title to indicate someone's spiritual quality. And so like here it's being, like Shri will just be thrown in front of anyone that you want to honor. So it's usually put in front of the Lord's name, Shri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya, Sri Saraswati Didi, Sri Krishna Gopal Prabhu, Sri James, Sri Devananda Prabhu. And then there are also some other developments upon that, like there's Śrīla, which is used generally for one's guru. There's Śrīmad, which is used for a respectable... No, Śrīmad is usually also for a guru class. Then there's Śrīman, which is used for a respectable man. There's Śrīmati, respectable woman, and so on. There's many different variations upon this Shri. So it's simply a way of indicating someone's spiritual quality, some element of spiritual beauty, spiritual wealth, like that. Then Krishna is Krishna. Everybody knows Krishna. Chaitanya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga. And here, and this is actually here as a compound, so it's making it very clear that we're talking about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and making clear his non-difference with Krishna. So that Krishna has now appeared as Chaitanya, Gauranga. They are one and the same. Different mood, right? And with some different purpose, but essentially they are the same, right? So it is emphasizing the divinity of Lord Chaitanya and his, supreme position. Then Prabhu originally was a title that was used only for the Lord or for one's guru. So used very sparingly. It's put in the word for word here as Lord. And so you hear us say Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. But then in more recent times, one of our modern gurus, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who's just above you there, James, he instituted this practice of calling his own disciples Prabhu, which at the time many actually objected to. Because, what do you mean calling everyone Prabhu? Prabhu is only for God or for, Guru, like that. But Saraswati Thakur had this very high vision that his Guru had sent his disciples to him as extensions of himself to help him in his mission. Did that come out clear? Yeah. So Bhakti Siddhanta, he had the vision that his own disciples were extensions of his Guru. Because feeling, I'm so unfit to do my work, my mission, and so my Guru has come to help me in the form of my disciples. This was his very high, elevated vision. The word he used was Vaibhava, like they are extensions of my Guru. So he saw his own disciples as being most worshipable. And so from that time, this practice began of referring to persons who are following in a serious way these teachings, and they'll be honored with this title of Prabhu. Of course, nowadays it's used in quite a loose way, sometimes a very cheap way, like, hey Prabhu, come over here. Or in India, when our Western devotees go to India, they'll call anyone and everyone Prabhu, right? The local shopkeepers. But it's meant to be used in an honorable, careful way, actually. And as I said, originally, it would only be used for the Lord or one's master, one's guru. So here Prabhu is being used as a title for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, he's the subject here. Jive. So jiva, the word jiva means the living soul. Right? So we are all jivas. And then because of the grammar here, jive, Bengali and Sanskrit, very concise, right? So in English, we would say like to the souls, but in Bengali, you just add that E, and it's already included, to the jivas. So what is to the jivas? Doya or daya. Bengalis like to make this O sound. So in Sanskrit, they would pronounce it daya, but Bengalis, they tend to use the O sound a lot, so doya.
It's different in this book.
Yeah, because that book's been done more phonetically according to Bengali pronunciation. So it probably has an O there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's how Bengalis would pronounce it.
Making it easy for us. The songbook.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's not wrong to say Daya also. That's just more of a, another part of India, how they would pronounce it. Northern India, they would say Daya. So transliteration's a very, very challenging thing, especially with Bengali. Because it's mixed with a lot of Sanskrit words, and then there's a whole debate, how do you put it, There's no universally established way to transliterate Bengali. Yeah. So in our kind of this style that in more recent years we've been using is just following the Sanskrit style in terms of transliteration, and then we can choose to pronounce it Bengali style, like that. So Doya, I'll go for Bengali today, pronunciation. So Doya means mercy. And actually there are many words in Sanskrit and Bengali for mercy. You'll see in some of our other songs, right? Okay, you tell me, Prabhu, what's a word for mercy? I'm sure you can think of one.
Daya?
Yeah, but some other word, I'm sure you know.
Actually, I don't remember well.
I know you have it in your head. Okay, one that begins with K.
Okay. No, I don't remember.
A word for, you don't remember. I know
No.
you know. Okay, maybe Madhu Krishna. Can you remember a word that means mercy?
No, I don't know. It was
You do know? Okay, Saraswati, you tell us. Come on, you know. You guys, come on, you know this. Begins with
Karuna?
K. Yes, very good. And there's another one that's used a lot too, that also begins with K.
With K?
Yeah, there's another
Karuna is
one
mercy.
too. Hmm?
Kripa?
Karuna is mercy.
Yeah, see, you do
Yeah.
know.
Karuna.
Yeah, Karuna is mercy. And there's another word too. I know you know this word. You know.
Wow.
Okay, K-R.
Kripa.
Yes.
Kripa, of course.
See, you know that word, right?
Yeah.
Of course you know that.
Kripa Koron.
This is actually why it's
funny.
really nice to do this, because actually you all know so many words, but you don't realize that you know them. Because you're singing all the time these songs, and you're for so many years. Actually, I'm sure you have all the songs memorized in your head, but you don't realize that.
Yeah.
So you think you need the book, but actually you don't need the book. That's why it's nice to do these. It kind of helps the brain to, feel more comfortable. Oh yeah, I know that. And you get more familiar, comfortable with it.
This is what Devananda was saying, that when you know one word of the two verses, then you understand what the song, the meaning of that song, right?
Yeah, yes.
So this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So Doya, there's Kripa, there's Karuna. There are other words too. Anukampa is another one. There are many words in Sanskrit and Bengali for the word mercy or grace. Then Kodi is making it active. It's the to-do verb, Kodi. So doing mercy, please do mercy to me, is kind of like a literal translation. Or doing mercy to the jivas, to the souls. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Jiva Doya Kodi, being merciful upon the living souls, the souls of this world. Swa. Now this swa means oneself, the self. Or own, it can mean, in this case, meaning own. So Parshad, you know what Parshad means, right? What is Parshad?
Like friend?
No.
Associate?
Associates, yeah, exactly, yeah. The Lord's, you say it every day, right, in the Jaipurs. So Parshad, it means, or at least the way that we use it, is referring to the eternal associates of the Lord, means his entourage. Because the Lord, just like a king is not alone. If you say, oh, the king's coming for lunch, it doesn't mean the king's coming for lunch, right? It means he's coming with his chauffeur, he's coming with his personal assistant, he's coming with his bodyguard, coming with his secretary, and maybe a few others, right? And so in the same way, when Chaitanya Dev comes to this world, he comes with a full package, right? And there's like a whole plan, he sends some people ahead, who are playing the role of his parents and elders. Then he has others who come with him, others who come later. There's like a whole thing, So Parshad is referring to this whole group of his eternal company, associates.
We always, during the Jai, Dvanis, Swaprasada Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Remember?
Yeah. So the word sa means with. That's a different word. It gets confusing. Here swa means his own, but in the Jai prayers you're saying sa, or you say padikar. Padikar is another word similar for parshad. Same thing, means his entourage, like that. So there you're saying sa, and sa means with. So Jaya Sa Padikar, Jaya Sa Parshada, right? How do you say? Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. So Nityananda Prabhu and all of his associates, right? Jaya Sa Parishad. How do we say it? We say both words. Jaya Sa Parikara Shri Guru Guranga. We say for that. And then, Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Saparshada Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu with his associates, right? And this is something very important in Vaishnavism in general, that we're always honoring not only the Lord, but everyone around him. Who he loves, we also love, right? So yeah. Let's see. So Swaparshad, his entourage, his own entourage, associates. Swiya, own, again, some emphasis. Dham means, that's another word that you'll hear a lot. Dham is referring to the Lord's holy abode, like his place of birth and pastimes. And so in India, there were like three main dhams, you could say. There's Vrindavan, which is Krishna's birthplace. So you'll hear Vrindavan Dham. Then Navadvip, which is the place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. So Navadvip Dham. And you'll hear Shri Navadvip Dham. Now you know what Shri means. Like that. And then the other main dham, I suppose, is Jagannath Puri. Right? And then Saha means with. It's Sa, right? Saha, same thing. Avatari. So the word avatar, everybody knows the word avatar, right? But what does it actually mean? It means who descends. And so nowadays avatar gets used in all kinds of ways, right? Someone was telling me, oh yeah, it was he's a religious professor in America. He told me that when he told his students like what avatar actually means, they were like completely shocked. They thought it was an English word, that means like your online identity or something. They were shocked when he told them, no, it's a Sanskrit word. So it means, the word avatar originally means like a descent of the Lord who comes into this world, right? He's descending from above for some purpose in this world. So here, avatari is referring to him descending into this world. So this is a verb here, avatari, descending, right? Okay, so being merciful to the souls, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends with his associates and abode. And I might skip over the commentary, just so it's not all too much. But we could maybe read it later. So we can go to verse 2. Atyanta, and you'll also hear in Bengali too the word ati, right? Like we have some names, like one name we have sometimes is Ati Sundari. It's a lady's name, right? You've heard that name, right? Sundari means beautiful, right? Or beautiful lady. Then Ati means very. And so this Atyanta, same thing, extremely. Durlabha means rare, precious, difficult to obtain, as it explains in the word for word. Prema, everyone knows what prema is, divine love. Kodi bade, this is making it active, the verb to do. Dana, giving, distribution, as it's put here. So, in order to dana, distribute, give this extremely rare prema, shikaya is referring to instruction, just like the Shikshashtakam, right? The Shiksha is referring to instruction, and then Ashtakam, 8 instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Shikaya, instructing, teaches, as it's put here. Śaraṇāgati, everyone knows, surrender. Bhaka Tera, referring to the devotees. Now this is kind of a poetic license thing that sometimes these extra A's are thrown in to help with the rhythm, right? So normally we say bhakta, right? But here it's bhakata. This extra A is thrown in just to help with the rhythm. There's some looseness like that. And then the era, that's just the grammatical of. So bhakta, devotees, bhaktera, of the devotees, right? Prana. Oh, there's a little typo there. It's missing the diacritic. So prana, I think everybody knows that word. Prana is referring to one's very life, one's life air. So it's describing Śaraṇāgati as the life of the devotees, right? Because actually, without the spirit of surrender, our devotional practice is nothing. It's like an empty shell, right? If we are carrying out so many practices for our own benefit, for example, then what is the value of that? There's no connection with the higher plane. But then it's just something that may get us some good karma in this world, right? But if we're carrying out our practices with a mood of surrender, that I'm doing this as an offering to you, my Lord, then that is what makes the devotion activated, you could say, and is inviting, it's making that link, that connection with above. So this is here devotion, Śaraṇāgati, surrender, right? It's described as the life of the devotees. So in order to distribute this extremely rare prema, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching instructions on Śaraṇāgati, which is the life of the devotees. I'll read the translation. To distribute the most rare form of prema, he teaches Śaraṇāgati, which is the life of the devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right, he came with this purpose of distributing divine love. He gave Sankirtan or Kirtan as the means to attain that. It is also an end in itself. It's a very joyful practice. But that's not enough, right? What is actually the key ingredient that will allow the chemical reaction to take place? That is the spirit of Śaraṇāgati, surrender. As we said, that's what activates the whole thing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire is to uplift the souls of this world. He wants to give them this great gift of divine love. But how can they actually get it? By embracing the spirit of surrender. And so therefore, coming into this world, he's distributing the teachings of Śaraṇāgati, surrender. That is the actual means by which they can attain this high gift. So, Okay, we'll go on to verse 3. So now, Bhakti Vinod is the author of this song. Now Bhakti Vinod is listing or describing these 6 different aspects of surrender. Doinya or dainya. Doinya means humility. Atma. Atma means the self, right? Everyone knows that word. The soul or the self.
It's the same? Atma and...
Yeah. Atma can be used in different ways, right? We normally translate it directly as soul, right? But it can also refer to oneself. Sometimes it even means the Lord, Atma, in the sense of like the supreme soul, like, Param Atma. But sometimes in the scriptures it'll just say Atma, but it actually means Paramatma, means the Lord, and you have to figure out from the context, right, what it means.
Paramatma is
Param means,
soul.
Param, the word Param means great. So then Param Atma, or you put it together, compound, Paramatma, like that. So great soul, or super soul, supreme soul. Right? You're familiar with the word Paramatma? So you understand. So Nivedan is referring to offering or submission, as it's put here. So self-offering, self-giving, self-submission. This is one of the 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati. Gopchitre Varan. Gopchitre of guardianship, Varan, accepting. So it means to accept, or as we often translate it, embracing. Right? It's a bit of a sweeter, more poetic way to say it. To embrace the Lord as our guardian, to accept Him happily as our guardian. And then Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Now here, instead of like directly defining it, Bhakti Vinod is describing the mood, and he's put it in quotes, right? That Krishna will protect me. That limb of Śaraṇāgati, it is confidence in the Lord's protection, right? But he's put it like this. Avashya means certainly. It's like an emphatic expression, like definitely, certainly. Rakshibe. So Raksha is referring to protection, right? And this is also part of the name of our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar, right? So there, it's a very special title, right? Bhakti Rakshak means guardian of devotion, or the protector of devotion. That is part of the name of our Guru, Śrīla Sridhar Maharaj, part of his title, Bhakti Rakshak, Bhakti Rakshak. So guardianship or protection. So certainly, avashya, definitely, Krishna will protect me. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Vishwas. Vishwas is a Bengali word that means faith. Palan. Palan is referring to maintaining, holding, protecting. So to hold this faith, to maintain this faith, that certainly Krishna will take care of me. This is composed in, like a sweet, simple way, actually. So to hold this type of faith, to maintain this faith, Krishna will definitely take care of me. And then bhakti, anukul. So bhakti, everyone knows. Anukul means what is favorable. And then in the next line you see bhakti pratikul. Pratikul means what is not favorable, what is unfavorable. So, matra, only, karjer, one's actions, svikada, accept. So to accept actions, activity, only that is favorable, anukul, to our life of bhakti, to our life of devotion. And then on the other side, whatever is pratikul, whatever is unfavorable to bhakti, to devotion, that will be rejected. So bhava means like mood, or here as it's put, nature, disposition. So to have the nature to reject whatever is unfavorable. Varjanangi kada is referring to rejection. Okay, here it's a little confusing because it's been run together, the rejection and the acceptance, in a compound there. So, rejection of what is varjan, rejection of what is unfavorable, and then angikar, acceptance of what is favorable to devotion. Does someone want to read the translation as a whole there?
Humility, self-submission, embracing the Lord's guardianship, maintaining the faith that Krishna will certainly protect me, engaging only in activities which are favorable to devotion, and rejecting everything unfavorable to devotion.
Okay, I'm going to jump ahead to verse 5. So, shad simply means, so that's page 55 now that we're on. Shad means 6, anga means limbs, right? So these 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati, or surrender, hoibe, will be, this is future tense, will be, jahar, whose. So who has these 6 qualities of surrender? Who has these 6 aspects of surrender? Ṭhākur, their or his. Prarthana, prayer. I think the English word prayer must have come from the Sanskrit prarthana, because it's very similar. Many words in English. Shune is referring to hearing. And then Shri, title, Nanda Kumar. The word Kumar means like a young boy. And so it's Nanda. Nanda is the name of Krishna's father. And so Nanda Kumar means the son, the boy of Nanda. So Krishna, in other words. So it's saying that Krishna will hear the prayers of someone who is following these 6 limbs of surrender. So in other words, Krishna only hears the prayers of the surrendered souls. That there's a kind of filter system. And if someone is praying with some other motives in mind, then their prayers, they may reach some other person, some other expansion of his. But that original Krishna of Vrindavan, the sweet boy of Vrindavan, the son of Nanda Maharaj, that most loving Lord, he's only interested in love and loving relationships. And so this, Śaraṇāgati is ultimately an expression of love. And so he's only hearing the prayers of those who are praying to him with this spirit of love. You can see it like that. Yes. And Śrīla Sridhar Maharaj, he actually mentioned, because we have another book, you read that, or you're reading that book, Prapana Jivanamrita, right? So that's like a companion book to this book, actually, because they're both exploring the mood of surrender in different ways, right? And Śrīla Sridhar Maharaj mentioned that when he went to compose this Prapana Jivanamrita, thank you, can show it on camera. He mentioned that when he was going to write this, one of the things that inspired him was this line, this verse, number 5, like, Krishna hears the prayers of the surrendered souls. Then we must really take this seriously. It was part of his inspiration to compile this book. It's stuck in here. My nails.
You need a handyman.
Can I help you if you want?
I just wanted to put it the right way around,
Yes.
because it's like inside out,
so,
upside down. Yeah. He was especially inspired by this verse of Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur. Shri Nanda Kumar hears the prayers, thank you, Prabhu, hears the prayers of one who surrenders in this 6-fold way. Then Rupa, so Rupa and Sanatan, Rupa Sanatana, this is referring to the two head amongst the 6 Goswamis, right? These 6 great saint scholars who lived in Vrindavan around 500 years ago. So Rupa and Sanatana, they're brothers. Sanatana was the elder brother, and Rupa, younger brother. But Rupa also has the special dignity of being honored as the head of our lineage. So we are sometimes referred to as Rupanugas, which means followers of Rupa. And Rupa gave many important texts for us on the subject of bhakti. So, so Bhakti Vinod is like seeing them as the teachers of Śaraṇāgati. They have discussed the topic of Śaraṇāgati in their writings, and they're also exemplifying the spirit of Śaraṇāgati in their lives of devotion. So, he's discussing this subject. And also another nice thing to consider here is that everything's personal, right? Everything's personal. So he's not just discussing Śaraṇāgati in a kind of vague, abstract way, but he's going to those who have it, right? That you are holding Śaraṇāgati, you are the teachers of Śaraṇāgati, you are living Śaraṇāgati, please give me Śaraṇāgati, like that. Pode is feet. So this is something that could alienate some people, like, why are they always talking about feet? They have some weird...
Fetish.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. They have some weird fetish with feet.
Like, why did they touch the feet?
Yeah, and all the songs are talking about feet, and then there's lotus feet, like all the time. Like, what's up with that? What's wrong with these people? This is why we have to have some discussions like this, to decode the lexicon. Now, there's actually really deep significance behind this. And the idea is that in the Vedic culture, the feet, they are generally considered to be inauspicious. They're considered to be contaminated. It's the lowest part of our body. I believe there's some idea too that like bad karma is held there or something like that. But the idea is that it's a very deep way to show honor to someone. That I consider you to be so great and worshipable, I want to touch your feet. That even you are so great that even the lowest part of you is higher than me. And then so the significance of putting our head to someone's feet, as we do with the Lord and any great person we want to honor, is that the head represents the height of our existence, the height of our realization, the highest aspect of ourself, our highest attainment. So the greatest part of myself, I'm putting at the lowest part of yourself, right? And so that's how much I'm honoring you. That the lowest part of you is the highest part of me, right? And so much more. So I am falling at your feet. And then this also can sound a bit weird. This dante, trina, kori. Trina is referring to grass, like trinadapi, right? Trina, like lower than a blade of grass, right? That expression. Dante is referring to teeth. Kori, doing. So this is also can sound a bit strange, with the blade of grass in his teeth. It is a symbol of humility in the Vedic culture, right? Because grass is something on the ground. It is in a low place. But it's like, oh, I'm so lowly, I'm putting something from the ground within my mouth, right? So it is a symbol. It's not, I've never seen it practiced nowadays. I don't know if you ever have. But you can see it as a symbolic thing.
I wonder if they're just saying it.
Or if they actually, no, I think they did it, actually.
Yeah?
And I think in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's also mentioned that when Rupa and Sanatan had that, well, maybe Bhakti Vinod didn't do it, that's true. I think he's saying it symbolically.
Mm-hmm.
But I think previously there was a practice like that. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I'm pretty sure it mentions when Rupa and Sanatan have that first meeting with Mahaprabhu and Ram Kelly. Then they go before him like this, on their knees, with straw or grass in their teeth. But yeah, yeah, maybe not Bhakti Vinod did that, but I think previously it's done.
I was saying one thing about the touching the feet. It's not only the devotees, but I've seen the saints in the church. They have people touch their feet.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also a practice they do as well.
And another thing is that it's actually, I mean, this is also in line with what it's a nice example. It's actually, it's a natural feeling that will come. You know, it's a natural feeling that will come in the heart when we're moved so much by some higher entity. Then naturally, that feeling will come within the heart.
There has to be some humility.
Yes, it will be an automatic move. Oh, I want to put my head, at your feet. It will be some natural feeling. Baka TV. It's kind of like let's say someone who's never been in love, right? They see other people in love, how they behave, and think, they're crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Why are they acting like that? But then if that person actually falls in love, oh, now I get it. Oh, now I'm acting just as crazy as all the other people, right?
Now I am in.
What did you say?
Now I am in this situation.
Now I understand, right? So pathetic and this and that, right? So in the same way, like if someone looks at someone who's cultivating a relationship with God, with the saints, and see how they behave, they may think they're crazy. It looks very strange. But if they actually feel that touch, they'll find they feel the same. They feel inspired to behave in the same way. It's a natural feeling and movement that will come from within, from someone who's been touched by that, who's experiencing that. So from a distance, it may all sound very odd, but if one's actually entered into that plane and that mood, the same feeling will come to them. So Bhakti Vinod is the author of this song. Bhakti Vinod, that extra A has been thrown in there, you see. Bhakti Vinod, that's his name. Pode is referring to falling, so he's falling at their feet. There are 2 feet, duhu is both, so both of their feet. Pada is feet. Dodi is referring to holding, or is it put here, clasping. So he's clasping, it's very intense, falling at their feet with grass in his mouth, clasping onto their feet. It's a very intense mood that's being described here. And not only that, but kadiya. Kadiya means crying. Crying and crying. Bole is referring to speaking, saying. Ami is I, very simple Bengali, I. To is like being used for emphasis here. Certainly it's put in the word for word. Adam means fallen, lowly person. I'm a fallen person. Shikaye, that word has come up again. Instruction. Please teach me. Śaraṇāgati. And in this way, uttam is referring to upliftments, highness. Please make me, elevate me, or as it's put here. Kodoho is the to-do verb, make me, raise me up, elevate me, like that. So by teaching me, please teach me Śaraṇāgati and elevate me, raise me up in this way. So that's that song. Oh, it's 7:30 on the dot, just about. Willem, any comments or questions? Anyone? And there's also.
You already maybe you already mentioned it's in different all the limbs, the books has all the songs according to the different limbs.
Right. No, I didn't go into that. No. But yes, this book as a whole, it's exploring these 6 limbs, right? And so the book is divided into 6 sections, each section has a number of songs exploring each of these limbs. And similarly, this book, Prapana Jivanamrita, it's not a song book, but rather it's a compilation of verses. James is going through this actually now. It's a compilation of verses from the scriptures and writings of saints, exploring each of these 6 limbs, right?
It's very good that very much hand in hand.
Yes, yeah, they're companion books,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
It's a great gift.
It really is a real gift for us. Okay. Well, I feel like we should sing it again, or is that singing? I think we should sing it again. I think we'll read it with some new light and new feelings.
Then is a quiz.
Okay, so your challenge, Gopal, is to learn to memorize the song. And you already have it memorized.
Yeah. I have to study again the song, no, and the meaning, for knows what I'm singing. That's right.
It really helps to learn it
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're familiar with the
Definitely.
meaning, yeah. Okay then, Didi, you want to sing?
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori.
Sapasada Sri Adama Saravakari.
Sapasada Sri Adama Saravakari.
Atyanta Durlava Prema Kori Varedana.
Atyanta Durlava Prema Kori Varedana.
Sikaya Śaraṇāgati Bhakti
Sikaya
Vinod
Śaraṇāgati Bhakti
Bhakti Anukula Machakayera Svikara. one song. That's really good.
We could have a few classes for one song, actually. That's skipping the commentary and everything. And also practice. Okay, let's learn one verse, okay? We'll help you learn one verse. And everyone who wants to learn it can. So go back to the first verse, the word for word, page 49. So, do you want to read that, Prabhu?
Read? Which?
The verse. Just read the verse.
Oh, just the verse?
Bengali.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaprasada Swijadam Sahayavatari.
So you're more or less familiar with all those words, right?
A bit.
Okay. Well, Jiva you know.
Yeah.
Right. Doya, that is mercy. Right. Kori is just the to do. It's not so important. And then Swa, Parshad, you know that also. Swiya, with Dam, you know. Saha is with, Swiya means his own. Did I say that wrong? Then Avatadi, that word you pretty much know as well, Avatadi, descending. So he's descending to this world with his Dam, with his Parshad, to give mercy, Daya, or Doya, to the Jivas, to the souls, right? So, you can say it without looking at the book.
The test. You mean to
We
say
won't-
that
Just to say, we won't test you on the meaning, but just on the line. Because I think you know it already. You sing it all the time.
Yes, I sing, but
Okay,
sometimes
just try.
the
Just
bad
try.
thing in me is I just sing, but I don't read sometimes. No, that is my problem.
You don't need to read.
I think he knows the
He knows
gist
it.
of the song,
Yeah.
right?
No, but I
sometimes.
mean, you have the song memorized in your head already. So try saying the line, or you can sing it without looking at the book.
All right, I just sing.
Yeah, just sing.
So Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori Swaprasada Swijadam Sahayavatari. Well, that's easy.
It's like, okay.
Yes, sometimes when I read just the first part, the first part,
Yeah, then
I
it all
can,
comes to you.
sometimes
yeah.
happen that, not always, no.
Yeah. Okay, then can you remember the next verse? Atyanta.
Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Paridhar Shikaje Śaraṇāgati Hoi Bejahar. No, sorry, no, that.
That's later.
Yeah.
Shikaye Śaraṇāgati.
Koro He Utam. No?
That's the last line.
Yeah.
Often that gets mixed up.
Oh, Shikaje Śaraṇāgati.
It is the life of the devotees.
Yes.
What's the word for life? The life air.
Life air.
Okay, ask James for a clue. He's going through the second verse. He's trying to remember the second verse.
Prana.
There you go.
Good.
So what's the line? Shikaye Śaraṇāgati.
Anu.
She just told you.
Yeah.
She spoiled it. Of the devotees. Shikaye Śaraṇāgati. Prana.
He can.
Okay, you can
Yeah.
tell him, James.
I'm not going to say. Sikayas Śaraṇāgati Bhakatera Prana.
Okay. James just told you. Bhakatera.
But that is word?
Bhakatera. Shikaye Śaraṇāgati Bhakatera Prana.
The next one, Dainya Atmanivedana.
Okay.
Dainya Atmanivedana. Koribe, no.
Goptritravarana.
Goptritravarana. Shikayesh. Avasyarakšive Krishna. Hoibe. Hoibe?
No.
Possible for me.
That's.
Vishvasa.
Vishvashapalana.
Vishwas means faith.
Yes.
Vishwas means faith.
The next one, Bhakti Anukula Matra, yes?
Yes. Bhakti Anukula Matra.
Karya Sukara.
Karjira Sukar. No, sorry, no.
Yeah,
Karjira Sukar. Bhakti Pratikula Bhava. Varjana Angihara. Angihara, no? Angikara. Yes, so I have just to read the first part and then Sat Anga Śaraṇāgati Hoi Bejahara.
Yeah, good.
And then Tanhara Pratana Sune
No, that's a mistake many of our devotees do. They say Tanhara,
Tahara.
but it's Tahara.
Tahara.
And the reason is because in the original books, ISKCON, because it's called a Chandra, you see that little symbol, it's called
Yeah,
a
that
Chandra
symbol,
Bindu.
sometime, yes.
But
I heard that some time ago before, no?
Yeah.
Someone told me that it's like an N, no? When you...
But the N sound, you barely hear it actually. So it's better not to say it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and so the problem, so that little symbol, so we're looking on verse 5, the second line above the Tahara, it's called a Chandra Bindu. And it's difficult to make that in...
It's nasalized.
Yeah, I think slightly. But what I want to say is that in the original Hare Krishna books that were made by ISKCON, they found it very challenging to make that symbol in their typing system. And so they just left it out and they kind of made something up. And so they put the N with the dot on it. And so now everybody says Tanhara, because their minds are trained in that way. Because our old books, they follow that.
Or Kandija, no? Is Kadija?
Yeah.
But sometimes I heard...
But
like
now
Kandija.
that one's a little different, because with the Bengalis, I actually do hear a bit of an N sound with Kandiya. But with the other ones, I don't. Only with that word, for some reason.
And also there is something, because in the Spanish versions, I saw in some books there is some different, I mean, letras?
Yeah, letters.
Different letters, no? Letter, like, for example, Jasya. In English is with J, and in Spanish there is Y.
The reason for that is because Bengalis pronounce Y as J. So
I see.
a lot of confusing things come in because the Bengalis pronounce things
Yes, but
in a
there is
different way.
I mean in the Spanish version and the English version.
Yeah,
no?
because our English Kirtan guide was made by Sadhupriya Prabhu, an Australian devotee, and he was trying to make it phonetic according to Bengali pronunciation. So he put in a lot of J's and O's. They also pronounce V's as B's. So, but the thing, I appreciate his intention, but actually I feel overall it's very difficult to be consistent with that.
I see.
And sometimes it's there, Bengali style, sometimes it's not. And in the end, it's just, you don't have a proper system.
Just because I don't know.
So in our newer books, we
Yes.
follow the Sanskrit style, because it's just clean and consistent and systematic. And you can choose to pronounce Bengali, right? So yeah, so yeah, like a lot of, like for example, Acharya, Bengalis would say Acharya. That's how I kind of say it, because I lived there so long.
Yes.
And then my name, Vishaka, Bengalis would say Bishaka, actually. So,
What is the language?
what did you say?
Spanish do the same thing.
Oh, really?
Really?
V and B.
I've actually seen it in a few languages, actually.
The Castilians do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Castellanos speak.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that in one or two other languages too.
In Venezuela is
In Venezuela too, but not Mexicans, huh?
No, I'm saying this because I'm helping to a devotee to put, because there is a new version in Spanish of the song book.
Yeah. Don't follow the yellow kirtan.
No,
guide.
actually we are not
Follow
following that.
Don't follow.
No, but I have that
Follow the
English
little
version
pocket
and
one.
the
This
Spanish
one.
version. No.
Yeah, follow that
Hold on.
one.
Wow. She's saying to follow this
Oh,
one.
yes.
That's a good reference.
Yeah. Actually, the English version comes from there.
Okay, and also at the back of this book, you'll see there's a transliteration guide
Ah, yeah. Like
so
a
that's
dictionary,
also
no?
quite helpful. I believe at the back
This
in
one
the
is
pronunciation
pocket
guide
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
I
no,
think.
que dice que está muy bien este.
Like this one?
It's the
Here?
same.
Yes.
Page 294.
Yeah, so 292.
Spanish and English.
It was-
But it's
yeah,
the
if you
same,
look from page
Sanskrit.
291, Guide to Reading and
Bengali.
Pronouncing Bengali.
Yeah, Bengali.
So from page 291.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it's very helpful. There's also pronunciation guide. Yeah, so that's very helpful.
I see.
So you're saying that this one has been edited. They have edited any spellings or anything from this book?
Well,
On
I'm
this
just
one?
speaking because I studied this a little too because I want to learn Bengali better. There is no universal standard way of transliterating Bengali. It's kind of like a problem, and some because some try to make it phonetic, right? But then others just follow the Sanskrit transliteration style, right? And so but the phonetic style is a little problematic
Yeah.
because it's hard to be systematic and consistent with it. So I'm saying that small one is following the standard Sanskrit style. So A's aren't put as O's, Y's are not put as J's, V's are not put as B's, and so on. Whereas our yellow one, it's a very nice attempt, but in the end, I don't feel it's so helpful.
Okay.
It makes things more confusing, I
I see,
think.
I see.
What's the difference between that pocket book and this one?
Now that's a good question, because so this little pocket book and then this big yellow one, they're kind of guides to help with the kirtans that we sing in our daily programs. But the songs, it's a collection of songs by different authors, and the songs are pulled from different Vaishnava songbooks. So there are so many Vaishnava authors throughout the last, Gaudiya Vaishnava authors over the last 500 years or so who've written songs from their heart, and they publish their own songbooks. And then these two books are like a collection of songs pulled from different songbooks. Whereas this book is one of those original songbooks by one author.
Ah, I see.
So this book is by Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur, and it's one. There's kind of like this is one album, and then this is like a greatest hits.
Collection.
Yeah. Jai.
And you were referring to the difference between this and this song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like one album by one singer.
Yeah.
And that's like maybe greatest hits over the last 500 years from lots of different singers, you could say, like that, in a simple way. And yeah, so you'll see if you start looking at the authors, you'll see the two main authors that come up are this Bhakti Vinod and then another one called Narottam Ṭhākur. And so Narottam also wrote a lot of songs, and different song books were published. And so they're kind of like the favorite songs of our more modern, recent gurus that were incorporated into our daily programs by their, inclination, attraction, to those songs.
So, who wants more classes like this?
I think everyone.
Right? Very good.
Everyone we need
I think
needs
that
a class
everyone
like
who
that.
is joining us today, they are saying yes.
Yeah, maybe we can continue on it and come back.
For sure.
Summer, yeah. It's really nice to do.
It's wonderful because otherwise it becomes very robotic. We are singing the songs every day.
Yes,
So it's good to learn the meaning, understand.
I agree.
you must understand what we are singing. Yeah.
All right. Well, this will stop there. Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai.
maybe Devananda would like to sing Hari Haraye.
Okay. He looks so happy anytime anyone asks him to sing. It's so you don't get bored of it, huh? Page 60 in the yellow, it's not yellow actually, it's the same book, it's purple.
Vaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Arati Hari Jyoti Jai. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sindhu Jyoti Jai. Jai Krishna Paramahamsa Parabhavati Kachara. Jai Asatar Sata Shri Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Krishna Paramahamsa Parabhavati Kachara. Jai Asatar Sata Shri Śrīla Bhakti Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Prishipaya Paramansa Parivati Kachaya Vari Asatara Sata Shishima Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur Ki Jai. Jai Gauri Kishore Taspadiji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Prishipaya Sachidananda Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Upanuku Guruvaka Ki Jai. Jai Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Vijayabhusana Ki Jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivasa Acharya Prabhu Ki Jai. Six Goswamis of Vrindavan Ki Jai. Sarvaswari Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sarvaswari Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shami Kunvara Kundevi Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Ravaha Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Vinod Shari Shri Singha Ki Jai. Bhakti Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Joshi Mahavani Ki Jai. Joshi Parikama Ki Jai. Jai Namazi Shrimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Vishwa Vaishnava Varsha Zabar Ki Jai. Arpamat Varsha Sri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Tadya Sakamat Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Sarasvat Mat Ki Jai. Vishwa Bhyati Tadya Sakamat Ki Jai. Sri Maipur Ki Jai. Sri Nanda Vit Ki Jai. Sri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Sri Jagannath Ki Jai. Sri Govinda Kund Ki Jai. Sri Sadash Gangadhar Ki Jai. Samaveta Vaishnava Mandal Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Devotees all over the world Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai.
Śaraṇāgati. By Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākur Ki.
Jai.
Shri Vishaka Diri Ki. Jai. Gaur Premanandi.